Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. How's everybody doing today? I'm your host, Jim Masters, and we've got an amazing guest coming up in just a moment. Yes, a veteran television, film, stage actress, the one and only Charlotte Stewart is here, also author of a riveting and really cool read. Talk about that in just a second. She's live and direct from beautiful Napa. Yes, and that wonderful Napa Valley where all those great wines come from in California. It's a beautiful sunny day where she is, a beautiful sunny day here along the coast. It's about 71 degrees and sunny. We've got a light coastal breeze. We're here in the greater New York area between New York and Boston along the southern New England, historic, beautiful coast in the United States. That's where the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series generates from. Boy, I tell you, we've done over 420 episodes every single day live of this Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, and it's truly amazing. Thanks for all of the emails, the texting, the sharing, the tagging, the liking, the subscribing, all the cool things that all of you have been doing. I get so many great letters from everybody and private messages from the viewers, all the guests as well, who become, if they're not already friends, when we start the show, we're friends by the time the show is wrapped, each episode. So it's really wonderful. Hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you're in the mood to be entertained and to have a good time with us. This is a talk show series, sort of patterned after the old school talk shows, as we say, like Dick Cavett, Johnny Carson, Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, and some of the others, with a modern twist and a modern vibe of today. We have a lot of fun, conversational, freestyle, warm and inviting. We go in all different directions. We always have a good time. We welcome you and you and you, and we always toast everybody in style too. So here you go. We toast you and you and you. Thanks for joining us on this episode. Hope you have your drink of choice there, whatever it is, water, soda, something fancy. We literally just got in moments ago from a nice, beautiful walk. We did several laps along the coast where it's stunningly beautiful today. Hope everybody's doing well. And again, our very special guest going to be joining us in just a second, live and direct from beautiful Napa, California. And I'm talking about Charlotte Stewart. Yes, you know her from Little House on the Prairie, Miss Beadle as well, of course, Twin Peaks star as well, and a lot of incredible other productions and movies and so much more. Going to chat with her in just a second. First, we would love it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's right. That's the channel you're watching right now, home to over 400 episodes so far of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. We would also, in addition to subscribing, and there it is right there, Jim Masters TV. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe. You just hit that big red button you see in the upper right-hand corner of our channel. It says subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss any of the live daily episodes of our talk show series, and also our surprise pop-up shows as well. And we'd love it if you give this episode on our YouTube channel a thumbs up, a like, a nice hearty like, if you're enjoying this episode and any of the episodes you've enjoyed over the many weeks. And drop a comment too if you enjoy this. A lot of you have been doing that. We appreciate that. Leave a comment on the actual YouTube channel underneath this episode, this video on the YouTube channel. YouTube loves when you do that. We love when you do that as well. And again, it's really cool to have you guys here. I hope your day's going well. If it's not, then hey, we are here to put smiles on your faces. Let's check in with some of the amazing Lovities. That's right. The audience calls themselves the Lovities because they said the show has a lot of light, love, and levity, and which was kind of cool during a pandemic. You know, some throwing out some levity there, and you guys fell in love with it. So let's check in with some of our viewers who are watching all across the United States, Canada, Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, and everywhere in between. We're still waiting for somebody in Antarctica and the Arctic Circle to chime in. So if you have any cousins up or down, let them know about our series. Greetings, Jim and Lovities from the Valley of the Sun. Yes, we're talking to Maureen, who's watching from Arizona. Good to see you, Maureen. Jen Barry is here from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Juanita checking in from South Africa. Merlin from Ontario, Canada is here. Welcome, everybody. Kathy is here from Cleveland, Ohio. Ann is here from Jacksonville, Florida. Good to see all of you. Crystal is checking in from Connecticut, USA. Jane is checking in from beautiful Sweden. We love when Jane is here as well, and all of the Lovities that are tuning in. Anybody new that is joining us, we welcome you as well. Janet is here. Nice to see you, Janet. And Jane is welcoming Charlotte. Told Charlotte all about the Lovity situation, and she loves it. She says, "Oh, I love that idea." Welcome, Lovity Charlotte. Right, exactly. And Janet says, hello, Jim and Lovities. Janet on Long Island. Yes, good to see you, Janet, and welcome. I hope you're doing well. And everybody that is watching the show, keep the comments coming. And again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Let me tell you about our amazing guest. I was just telling you just moments ago. She is a legend in the industry. She's beloved in the industry. She's done so many incredible things. We're talking about the one and only Charlotte Stewart, beloved actress who's appeared in 2 television classic blockbusters, Little House on the Prairie and Twin Peaks. In addition to all of that, now, of course, you think of the stardom and the glamour of Hollywood and all the wonderful things where everything is taken care of. Well, doesn't always work that way, you know. Charlotte Stewart, of course, is known by millions of fans worldwide for her role as the beloved school teacher, Miss Beadle, on the iconic TV show, Little House on the Prairie, currently in broadcast syndication in more than 100 countries around the world. Here for the first time as an adult cast member, she writes about the experience of making the show, the challenges, the joys, and the sometimes turbulent behind-the-scenes relationships with her incredible new book, Little House in the Hollywood Hills, A Bad Girl's Guide to Becoming Miss Beadle, Mary X and Me, Bear Manor Media by Charlotte Stewart and Andy Dembski. It's the no-holds-barred, heartbreaking, ultimately joyful account of 50 years in film and television, offering a backstage pass to Hollywood's cocaine-fueled glory years. Yes, it's a very riveting page turner. She's very revealing, very open and authentic in this work of hers. Talks about a lot of different things: battling cancer, alcoholism, death of a spouse, financial ruin. That's right. And it also offers a backstage pass to Hollywood's years, included her celebrated work with David Lynch in the cult classic film Eraserhead as Mary X, and later in the blockbuster television show Twin Peaks as Betty Briggs, and the eternal optimist who wore a smiley face button to Laura Palmer's funeral. The memoir of working with leading men from Jimmy Stewart and Elvis Presley to Kevin Bacon and Kyle MacLachlan. It details offstage friendships such as those with Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, and flings, relationships with some of TV and music's biggest names: John Voight, Richard Dreyfuss, Victor French, Tim Considine, Bill Murray, Jim Morrison, just to name a few. I don't want to give it all away because I want to welcome my very special guest from beautiful Napa, California, the one and only Charlotte Stewart. Charlotte, welcome to the show. How are you?
And hi, Napa.
Yes, we do our lovely toast, my friend. Here we go. Toast, toast, toast. Cheers. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. How are you today? You look fabulous. Yeah, you're choked up.
Yeah. I'm terrific.
I was going to say that happens when people come. People are so mesmerized when they come on the Jim Masters Show Live. It either takes their breath away or they get all choked up about it.
I get all choked up, I was just showing you my little dog a
Yes.
minute ago. I put her down and she promptly threw up on the floor.
Oh no, must have been stage fright, huh? Was it stage fright?
I don't know. I think I scared her or something, but
well, hopefully she'll be back. She's
right
beautiful, beautiful Maltese, a beautiful Maltese, Shayna. She's right there next to you, laying down.
Right here next to me, and she. Oh well, I'm not gonna bother her right now.
Yeah, let her rest and recover from that that emergency. Maureen says a warm welcome to you, Charlotte. We're so happy to have you in Liberty Hall this fine Wednesday. She's in Arizona, USA. Juanita's watching in South Africa. Welcome to the show, Charlotte. Jen Barry says, Charlotte, I bought and read your book. It's so good. Awesome. Jen is watching in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Wow. I just got back from Pennsylvania.
Did you really? Did you have
in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Was it a book signing or something?
Yeah, it was a signing, but it was for Eraserhead and Twin Peaks. And they have a drive-in movie theater there that only shows 35 millimeter black and white movies.
Oh, wow.
8,000 people there. It was just amazing.
Amazing. 8,000 people. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fantastic. That's lovely for sure. I miss the drive-in theaters and all that. We used to love that, pack up the pillows and everything. And when we were kids, we were in.
The first movie I ever did was something, what was it called? I forget. It was a real cheap, low budget movie. And I was raised in Yuba City, California, on a farm. My dad was a peach farmer, and it played in the local drive-in. It was called Damaged Goods. And my father went to the drive-in every single night in his pickup truck.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. He saw the movie every single night.
The movie Damaged Goods?
Uh-huh.
There it is.
There it is. Oh my gosh.
So now people might not know you as well for that as they do Little House on the Prairie and everything else, but tell us about that role and that movie.
It was a teenage love story, and it was paid for by a committee to introduce people to sex diseases, and there was a little movie in the middle where my boyfriend, without me knowing it, had been infected, and they had to show this very graphic movie insert which showed what gonorrhea was.
Oh, so it was an educational film as well.
It was an educational film, yeah. And you can imagine my father at the drive-in every night watching this movie.
And how old were you when you were doing the movie?
I was 20 years old.
20, wow.
It was my first paid, film. And from that, I got my first agent.
Yes.
And then I got Loretta Young Show, which was my first TV show. And
that's right. And that's amazing. And there you are with Loretta Young. What was that experience like, Loretta?
Get all these pictures.
Oh yeah. We do our research here. We are,
you sure do.
when I do this show, the Jim Master Show Live, it plays off my professional work in television and radio and, hosting, journalism, all this stuff. So we do our homework. Absolutely. And you guys look fantastic. And that is from the Loretta Young Show.
Tell us from the Loretta Young Show.
Tell us about that opportunity. That was amazing, huh?
While I was shooting Loretta Young Show, it was on the lot at Goldwyn, and not MGM, but Goldwyn.
Yeah.
And we're shooting West Side Story at the same time. So I got to go over on the adjacent stage and watch them do the big dance in the underground garage with all the jets,
Yeah.
It was amazing. I met Richard Beamer there. We became lifelong friends.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. That's incredible. Loretta Young. Wow. What happened after Loretta Young? What was next on the ladder there for you?
Was My Three Sons. I did 3 different episodes as 3 different characters.
Did you really?
Yeah, they kept bringing me back year after year. And then that's where I met my first husband, Tim Considine. Oh, there's Beau Bridges. Look at that.
My Three Sons. Yeah.
That was his first job. In fact, I helped him learn his lines. Well, that was my first episode right there.
And what was your character on that episode of My
played,
Three Sons?
Gladys, who
Yeah.
was working on the high school newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
And she was a complete klutz. There was one point where papers were thrown all over the room. I couldn't catch anything. But there's Beau Bridges.
There's young Beau Bridges. Now, was that when My Three Sons was on? We had Stanley Livingston on the show, and he was fantastic and just telling us all about not just My Three Sons, but everything else that he's done. Was William Frawley on the episode then, or was it William?
Absolutely, Bill
Frawley.
He played the grandpa.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you that when my parents came to visit Hollywood and I took them on the set of My Three Sons, and my father met Bill Frawley, that made it for me. I mean, I could not have scored higher points because we always watched I Love Lucy. He was every day we watched
Fred Mertz. He met Fred Mertz.
Fred Mertz. I have a picture with my dad, Honey, which I called him Honey his whole life.
Yeah.
Honey met Fred Mertz, and Bill took us to lunch.
Yeah.
Nicodell's. And oh man, I scored so many points with that.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
To my dad, that meant I was really in Hollywood.
You've made it. You have made it. You met Fred Mertz. You met. Look at this. This goes back.
Oh my!
Was that Bachelor Father?
It was Bachelor Father. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bachelor Father.
Wow, and that was Bachelor Father was the lead character.
Well, it was the little girl. Oh.
The father was he was Dynasty and
I know.
yeah.
Forsythe.
Yes, John Forsythe. Yes, he played the father. Yes.
Yeah. He was very nice. He was a great guy.
And what was your role on that?
I was his daughter's best friend.
Yeah.
I forget my name. I always played the studious one, who got into trouble.
Yeah. That's funny. That's a great shot as well. And more too, as you go along, you've had a prolific career and you've done so many different things. You mentioned Eraserhead. Tell us about that and the involvement in that. How did that come about for you as well?
I was very fortunate. We were living in, I don't know if you know about Topanga Canyon, California.
Oh my God.
And my roommate at the time.
It's beautiful there, isn't it?
Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I mean, everybody lived there. Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Russ Hamlin, everybody. But my roommate was a volunteer at the American Film Institute. And she was assigned to Jack Fisk as an art director. And he was doing work with David Lynch, who was a student doing his first film there. And he was casting it. And Doreen said, my roommate's an actress. And so, so David came to dinner. He brought me the script, which I did not understand at all. But you know what? I always did work for student filmmakers. Yes. How are they going to learn to be filmmakers if they don't have professional actors?
Right.
So I did that. I did Mary X, as you see me there, with David Lynch and my roommate Doreen next to me. And that's Catherine Colson, that you might remember as the log lady later on from Twin Peaks. And that was our cameraman. So that was on the set there. That's
amazing. It was a very interesting production, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I didn't understand any of it, but you know what?
But it's a cult classic, huh?
I just did what David told me to do. If he told me to lean down under the bed and pull the suitcase 14 times, I leaned down under the bed and pulled the suitcase 14 times.
That's it.
And then I couldn't have been more shocked when it won the LA Film Award. It was released.
And it's now become like a cult classic in many ways for people. Yeah, they remember it so well. And then, of course, as we go along, really the amount of people you've had an opportunity to interact with and meet really is extraordinary. Elvis Presley as well.
Yep, that was
Speedway.
a movie called Speedway. He
Yeah.
was so nice. Elvis was so charming and so sweet. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get back on right. There we go. Anyway, I am going the wrong way. Okay, it's backwards.
Don't you
Elvis
feel
was so
like you're on
sweet.
a cruise ship that's tilting?
That's right. I was only there 2 days, but when we finished doing this particular scene in the drive-in, he pulled up a chair next to his and sat me down. He held my hand and he told me about his mother, Gladys, and what it was like for her when he had to go in the army. And he was over in Germany when she was ill and they wouldn't let him come home. And he's telling me the story about his mother. And I'm thinking, holy shit, Elvis Presley is holding my hand.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite a.
It's ironic, that it didn't happen to very many people, but he was so sweet. I loved him. He was great.
Jimmy Stewart too, huh?
Jimmy Stewart, yeah. He and Henry Fonda were in the Cheyenne Social Club.
Yeah.
And I played May, the waitress.
What was it like working with him?
Part of the story. It was all men.
Yes, right, exactly. What was it like working with Jimmy Stewart?
It was, well, of course I had known who he was for years and years and years. They had a little, what they call, it was a little trailer for him on the set inside the studio. And he would sit on the steps of his dressing room and play the accordion. You just would say there, between shots, he would just sit on the steps and play this beautiful music. It just relaxed everybody. He was so easy to get, talk to and be with. And not so much Henry Fonda. He was a bit of a, standoff guy.
Yeah, more right, standoffish, reserved, where Jimmy was sort of like an old shoe or something.
That's right. Everybody knew Jimmy Stewart. He was so nice.
Comfortable, and exactly. And of course, Michael Landon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was on the other series after Little House on the Prairie. That was
right.
That was when
that was Highway to Heaven?
Highway to Heaven, yeah. Yeah, they called me and said they wanted me to do a small part on there. It was actually a two-parter. And it was great. It was one of the first things I did after leaving Little House on the Prairie. Of course, it went on for 5 more years after I left.
Yeah. He was amazing, wasn't he? The quality and just the vision for these types of series that had these heartwarming stories. That we lost Michael Landon way too soon. I think it was pancreatic cancer, I think.
Yeah, my mother passed of the same thing. So I knew what that was when he got it. But Mike knew his audience and he knew the kind of stories that they wanted to do. And he was a family man, he loved kids. And the different thing about our set was everybody went home at 6 o'clock. Every TV show you ever did, they work you till 9 o'clock at night and you have to be back there at 6 o'clock in the morning. But Mike said, you know what? Everybody wants to go home and have dinner with their family. So that's what we did. He was so good at timing everything. The shots that he wanted, he knew how he was going to cut it together. So we didn't shoot reams and reams and reams of film. He only shot what he needed to put together. So that was very different from all the television I had done previously.
Yeah. And I'm sure it sounds like you were observing and watching the technique along the way as much as the actress, seeing the technical side and the reasons for the camera angles and really understanding not just your lines and the role of the character, but really appreciating everything that was going on around you and the reasons for it, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had done about 50 TV shows before I ever got on Little House on the Prairie.
That's right.
I did every series that you can think of, not, series roles, but individual episodes.
Like Macmillan.
Oh, wow.
Macmillan and Wife, yeah.
Oh, what was that from? I don't remember what that was from, but
that was Macmillan and Wife.
Oh, Macmillan.
Yeah.
Oh, Rock Hudson. I got to meet Rock Hudson.
That gives you a little tickle. Yeah, Macmillan. Yeah, that was great working with. What was that like working with Rock Hudson?
Well, I didn't get to work with Rock Hudson. He obviously was on the set.
Your shot was separate.
I was working with one of the other characters. You know, I was a bad girl. In fact, I think I drugged his assistant or something. I get them all mixed up.
But that's great. You know, that's where you've taken on all these different roles and have had all these different opportunities to really stretch your acting prowess, not just as, and that's why I'm showing people some of the other things you've done in addition. And we'll talk about Little House and Twin Peaks, but you are an actor's actor because you can take on all these different roles, even dramatic and comedic, and make it your own, and they can really throw anything at you and you can do it, and you've done it beautifully with all of these incredible roles, and that's quite amazing. It's the versatility. So Macmillan. And
I played bad girls, I played good girls, I played rich girls, I played blind girls, you know, I played jail inmates.
So
in fact, funny story, I was visiting my mother, and it happened that when I was visiting her, and this was like the last week of her life, she was very ill. So I had 2 television shows on one night, on a Wednesday night, one at 8 o'clock, one at 9 o'clock. One was Medical Center and the other was FBI. And in those days, they had you bring your own wardrobe. You know, well, I didn't do them back to back. I did them months apart. I wore the same thing in both episodes. I was a jail mate in one on FBI, and I was a rich blind heiress in the other. And I'm wearing the same jacket in both shows. My mother got such a kick out of that. It was her last week of life.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's really.
I'm so grateful that she knew she didn't have to worry about me, that I had a career.
You know,
fine.
And she knew the blood, sweat, and tears. She knew the toil. She knew the hard work, the sacrifice, the rejection, all of that. And she got to see you make it. And that's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really. How did she inspire you? Before all of this fantastic work, this illustrious, fantastic career, and all the amazing people you've met, early on for you growing up in Northern California, what were some of those inspirations in your life that sort of, gave you that passion for wanting to get out there and entertain and go into the arts?
I didn't have a clue what I was going to do. I was a terrible student in high school. I didn't know where I was going to go. All my friends were going to Stanford and Yale and whatever, and I couldn't go anywhere. So I found an ad in the back of Teen Magazine for the Pasadena Playhouse.
Oh, yeah.
And I sent off an application, and I filled it out, and I signed my mother's name, and I got accepted. And then I told my parents. Well, my mother was like, what? What? And she said, well, we'll see about that. And she and I jumped in the car and we drove to Pasadena, and she was blown away. It was a State Theater of California. It was a 3-year show, 3-year curriculum. The building itself, it had 4 theaters. It was 7 stories high. I had to live in a dormitory. And she said, I guess that's what you're going to do.
I guess that's the mind.
And within a year, I was in the Miss California pageant. I got recognized by an agent. I started doing commercials. And then Loretta Young Show.
Wow. And the rest, just is history. And you've loved the ride, the ups and downs, the craziness of it all, of course.
And there were a lot of downs. Downs. But
sure.
As you can see, I just turned 80 years old. And
hard to believe. No. Yeah.
I'm really doing very well. I'm still working.
Yeah.
I periodically go do this or that. And
which is wonderful.
I travel all over the country meeting fans from Little House on the Prairie and Twin Peaks. And so, I'm just so lucky. And I'm, newly married 5 years and living
Yes,
in Denver.
congratulations. Well earned, well deserved. And when you are there in California living, have you ever felt any tremors? You like that segue?
Absolutely.
Tremors, the movie Tremors we're talking about, of course.
Yeah. Of course, I've been through 3
Tremors.
earthquakes, 2 here in Napa, 1 in Los Angeles, really bad ones.
Earthquakes, yeah.
You walk into the kitchen and all your cupboards are open and everything is broken on the floor. And yeah, we're kind of used to that.
What was it like
it
being
was
in
ironic
Tremors?
that I would do Tremors.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward. Yeah. Michael Gross. That was a wonderful cast. And we had 6 weeks working up in the Mojave Desert.
Ah,
and
yes.
Ariana was my daughter.
What was the, oh, that's wonderful.
She was in Jurassic Park.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, she was the little girl in Jurassic Park. She did it right after we did this.
I didn't know that. When I rewatch that, I'm gonna have to look for that. I had no idea.
Really good.
And what year? This was 1990, right? Yeah.
I think so. And then 10 years later, we did Tremors 3.
Yes.
She was 19. And we were still in touch. So I told the producer, I said, Ariana and I are still in touch. She went, great. You can both come back and we'll do Tremors 3. There it is.
Wow.
Tremors 3.
What was it like when you guys were in that Mojave Desert? We had Dee Wallace on a couple of weeks ago, and she was mentioning, and that was The Hills Have Eyes of all movies to be a part of, and what it was like, how cold it got at night, and just, it's a little eerie, when you're out there in the desert, nothing around, and what was it like for you guys?
Well, it was very hot. We were there in, June, July, August. We were there 6 weeks, and it was extremely hot and windy.
Yeah.
So it was just work. It looked just like you can see it there.
Yeah. Yeah. What time of year did you film? Did you film not in the summer, right?
Oh yeah.
You did film in the summer.
We were there right in the heat of the
summer. You are a hardy lot.
I'm a California girl,
Merlin in Canada says, I love Tremors, watch it often. And Jane in Sweden, 80, no way, you look great. Absolutely. And thank you, Marty. I appreciate that. And that's our super chat. He goes, good day. He was a guest on our show. He's a wonderful Aussie crooner and entertainer. He lives in Nashville with his lovely wife, Babette. He goes, good day. Who was the funniest actor you worked with? Wow. Funniest.
I didn't.
It's a good question, Marty.
I do a lot of comedies. So
right.
Most of my stuff was dramas, but I don't even have an answer for that.
Yeah. Who would be like somebody that's comedic or
gosh.
Michael Landon had a good sense of humor, didn't he? A little bit. Sometimes I've seen him in interviews where he could be very witty and very Michael Landon.
Oh, Michael!
Could be very funny. Yeah,
he was hysterical.
Yeah,
you weren't safe around him. He was a practical joker all the time, especially if there were, people visiting the set and all. He would just start swearing and tell dirty jokes, and there was no hold. He and Victor French.
Oh,
they were just impossible.
Oh, impossible. Yeah. And I think Victor French went on to, was it before or after? He was in the series Carter Country.
He left Little House on the Prairie briefly, and Michael was furious, furious that he did that and got his own series. And then later on, they made up, and he brought Mr. French back. Victor and I were very good friends. We used to go drinking together.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he was a great character. You also had an appearance on 8 is Enough. Betty Buckley with you there.
That's right. Yeah, I was just in one scene. I think I barely remember anybody in it. But is that me?
Yes, with Betty Buckley. Yeah, Betty Buckley is on the right.
On the right. Is that me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't remember the episode. I remember seeing it. But that's 8 is Enough. Dick Van Patten and that whole group, huh?
Yeah, I remember being on the set, but I don't remember what I played or the scene at all.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
clue.
No, that happens often because there's so many different bit parts and scenes and
I think
different things. Yeah.
different Loretta Young shows, and the only one I remember is the one I just saw recently that you had a clip of.
Yeah.
That's the only one I remember.
Then
James
you were,
Gregory played my father in one, and Loretta Young was only in the first one that I did. But
yeah.
Audrey Totter, remember Audrey Totter?
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know, played my mother in one, and she was an alcoholic. The first time I ever saw the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, because I had to read it in my dialogue. And ironically enough, I ended up later on spending 27 years in Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes.
After I nearly killed myself.
Right. Right. Exactly. I know. Was that, do you think, to the pressures of being in the industry?
No, it was just because I was a child of the 60s.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
doing all kinds of, cocaine and smoking marijuana and drinking a lot. And I had no boundaries. I was making lots of money.
Yes.
I didn't have any responsibilities. And it got out of hand. It got way out of hand.
Yeah.
And I ended up putting myself in a treatment program, thank God, because I probably would have died. I was very close to being very, very unhealthy. And I put myself in a treatment program, and thank God. I stayed sober for 27 years now. I have an occasional glass of wine that I live here in Napa, and I'm remarried to a lovely man who I've known for many, many years. And I have a great life. So life is good.
That is beautiful. And again, full circle too, and all the different experiences, and, to be able to write about it and express and open in an open way, in an open fashion is a beautiful thing. Not always an easy thing to do, but you've done it. And just a second, we're going to tell everybody about the amazing book. And a couple of people have been asking, I think Jennifer Barry in Pennsylvania, where you just came from, had asked if you still make the Beetle bags. She goes, Charlotte, do you still create your Beetle bags? I'd love to buy one. And there it is, Jennifer, the answer to your question.
One. This one is with Miss Beadle and Nellie. I just made this yesterday. And I have one here with Laura and Miss Beadle. This one I just finished. I sell them to raise money for a cancer program here in Napa, because I'm a cancer survivor, and they have this wonderful program called the Wellness Center. If anyone wants to contribute, it's in the St. Joseph's Hospital in Napa, California, the Wellness Center, and they give 6 weeks of free aftercare for any cancer patient who has been through surgery, chemo, radiation, whatever. And it's 100% free, and it's all supported with donations. So when I moved to Napa 12 years ago and I heard about this program, because when I had cancer, there was no such program anywhere in LA. And so I've been supporting it ever since. In fact, they just put my name on the wall at the hospital.
Did they really?
Yeah. Last year, just before the COVID outbreak, I got a call and they said, we want to invite you to an unveiling. And I went to the hospital, and of course I wasn't the only name. It's hundreds of names, but there my name was under the certain donation that I had given. Yeah. And it was really nice.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
That's
beautiful.
From my Beetle bags.
That's beautiful. Doing what you love doing, creating and crafting in that way, in an artistic way, and then sharing it with the world, and for such an important cause, Charlotte. That is so beautiful.
Well, you're so welcome. Thank you. And anybody that, contributes, I so appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. There's several of them already saying they want to buy them. So we're going to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, maybe I can give you the information, and if they like you can give it to them.
I will do that. Yes. Okay. You guys know you can, if you're interested in the Beetle bags, jimmasterstv@gmail.com is our show's email address, jimmasterstv@gmail.com. Shoot an email my way, and I'll make sure that Charlotte gets it, and she'll work on it for you. Just don't be a stalker.
Bonanza.
You like that segue? Yes.
Wow.
Bonanza. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I was such a fan of Bonanza, so it was such a treat to be able to, work on the show. And I did several Bonanzas. I did Gunsmoke. I did all those episodic to FBI, Medical Center, every episodic to, oh, there I am. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, look how healthy I look there.
I was gonna say wholesome, and I mean the whole look is so like spot on for all the different roles that they asked for. And then of course you did Matlock as well. Just it's cool to see all these different roles and different, because again,
Matlock, look at me there. Oh
that's
my
Andy
God.
Griffith. Yeah, it's Matlock.
Yeah.
What was it like, working with them?
Oh,
Yeah.
he was great. He was great. Kick in the butt, they call him. Just a kick in the butt. But look at me there. I got brown hair, and I changed my look a lot because I don't want to be cast as the same thing over and over and over.
Right.
So I would, go back and forth.
That's a smart idea. Yeah. Like I say, you've had one of the more versatile careers where you've had an opportunity to play so many different roles. And of course, with all of that, and that's just really scratching the surface, gang, of this illustrious career, Little House on the Prairie becoming one of the major roles of a lifetime for you. How did that happen? How did that opportunity come your way? And what was it like? Did you have to do all kinds of auditioning and everything to get that part?
I did. I had one audition, and my agent had told me that it was a new series that Michael Landon was doing. Yeah. And I was to go to Paramount Studios and I had a scene to read, which was Miss Beadle's first scene in the series where Laura and Mary come to school the first day. So I got to Paramount, and they sent me to this casting room, and I opened the door, and there were all these ladies sitting there, other actresses waiting to read for the part, and they were all in Prairie dresses. And I never did that. I never dressed for the part. I just would go and do my research. So I was in my jeans and a plaid shirt or something. I don't know. Well, I walked in the room, and oh my God, there's Michael Landon. Now, he is just like eye-riveting. You walk into a room and Michael Landon's there, you just can't look anywhere else. He's so riveting. So I was trying to be very cool. So I said, the producer was sitting behind the big desk there, and Michael was, there. And I said, "Excuse me, but may I sit behind your desk?" And the producer looked at me and he went, "Okay." Yeah. And he got up and he walked over and sat with the other men in the room. And he and Michael started giggling. Michael, they start laughing, and I went, "Quiet."
Just like a teacher would, yes.
And they shut up, and I did my scene. And I drove home, and my agent called me and she said, "You got the part." I swear to God, that's why I got the part.
Yeah.
I told Michael Landon to shut up.
And he loved it.
He did. He did. It was great. It was great. I always got a big kick out of him. He gave me lots of wonderful episodes, a couple that I could really work on. And, I wasn't just sitting in the church all the time.
Yeah. What was it like on that set? Was it, obviously nothing is perfect, but what was really interesting, and I say this often, is when you are a really amazing actor, when you're somebody who really,
there. Anyway, thank you. I loved working with the children. That was the most fun. It was all these kids, every scene I had basically was in the schoolhouse.
Did you want to lift that up and show that again?
Huh?
Yeah.
She showed a picture of her.
Yeah.
Dickie Bird. And this is my tote bag from that picture. So I've taken pictures from the show and made them into
And there it is. Yeah.
There it is right there.
Yeah. That's a great shot of you, the expression. You really, really look the part. You look like an educator, a teacher, really.
Well, she's pretending to read. The story was that Laura had a hard time learning to read, and she was so proud of herself because she had memorized part of that book. And I know what she's doing. She's not really reading it. She had memorized it, and I got her number.
I remember seeing that episode. Yes. Yeah. So you were saying what the set was like, and what was the atmosphere? Was it?
Well, it was all children and their parents,
And
So,
Nellie Olson, Allison
Nellie
Ardgren.
Olson, Allison, who right now is my best friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was on the show. She's amazing.
I know, she told me. She told me she had a great time. She was like 12 years old or something then. Now we do lots. We go all over the country together doing Little House, fan events and stuff. In fact, I'm going to see her in 3 weeks. We're going to be in South Dakota together.
Oh, fantastic.
And, yeah, it'll be fun.
It's nice. You've stayed friends and,
She's in LA and I'm in Napa. So the only time we see each other anymore is when we go on the road.
And Miss Beadle, how many times have you had to ground Nellie?
It was mostly Willie. It was all, Willie, go stand in the corner.
Yeah.
In fact, I made a bag of Willie, go stand in the corner too.
Did you? So tell us about the years on the set. I mean, obviously a beloved television series that people still, look fondly on. Jen Barry says, I love Miss Beadle and Laura as well. And Maureen in Arizona says, Charlotte, your sweet smile just lights up the room.
Thank you.
They love the bags. They love the stories. What was it like being on the set there? And Jason Thomas asked, did Little House film in California? Was it all filmed in California?
Yeah, it was filmed, all the interior scenes, whether it was in the school, in the church, or in the Ingalls home or the store, was all on Paramount's lot, all on stages. And then when we were going outside, we would drive to Simi Valley, which is about an hour and a half outside of Hollywood. And we would spend 2 or 3 days there filming the exteriors, the street and the Ingalls house, the exterior and the meadow and the girls. And so we had about half on the Paramount lot and half out in Simi Valley. But Simi Valley was, God, I keep messing with my hair, and it's backwards.
Everything is reversed, right? Yeah.
No, I keep doing it. Simi Valley was extremely hot out there. It would be like 115 degrees. And we were wearing like that, a wool skirt with 3 petticoats. And one day we were shooting an episode where it was a baseball game in the little town of Walnut Grove. And they had some bleachers kind of put up there. And we were all sitting there. And finally, Michael said, let's take a break. It's really hot. Everybody come over, sit in the shade, get a drink of water. And they all looked over and they said, why is Charlotte still sitting there? I had completely passed out, sitting up from sunstroke, completely in my costume, just sitting there. I was completely unconscious.
Really?
Out with wet rags and stuff, back of my neck, ice and everything.
The heat was too much, overwhelming, huh?
It was. Yeah. It was pretty overwhelming. But basically, it was beautiful. The set there was just gorgeous, and it was so pretty, nice. The first time I was ever there, my grandmother came from Iowa on a covered wagon as a little girl.
Did she really?
I have that background. And the first day I was in Simi Valley, where they went to wardrobe and I did makeup and got my costume on, put my boots on, and walked over the hill into the little town of Walnut Grove, where you go over a bridge by the mill and you head toward the school church and past the Olson store. I felt like I'd been there before.
Yeah.
I really felt like it was in my past that I had experienced this kind of memory.
Yeah. That's amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite episode? Are there a couple that just really stand out for you that you really not only enjoyed being a part of, but just liked the storyline and what the message was? Because, those types of shows, Little House on the Prairie, the Waltons, a lot of those shows, those family dramas always had a message, always had a storyline that taught us different things about ourselves, right?
I think the reason that people like Miss Beadle so much is because Laura loved her. And I love the scenes where I was helping Laura and helping her understand or helping her read and showing her patience and concentration. And she tried so hard. And when you see some of the scenes where she's looking at Miss Beadle,
Right.
that's why the fans love Miss Beadle, because Laura loved Miss Beadle.
Yeah.
You know, I loved working with the children. Every time I was in the schoolroom, I had 15 children there, and they were all there with their parents, because as a minor, you have to come with a guardian or a parent.
Yes.
And so it was a family show. We were all on this wonderful set together. We would all go to lunch together, you know, the Paramount Commissary or, you know, something like that. It was very wholesome, in spite of what my life was. I was a real bad girl, as you know.
So yeah, let's which may surprise some watching who are not aware of that part. Maybe they haven't read the book yet, or you know, they're learning you know, that the teacher lived life fully as well, and there is the book Little House in the Hollywood Hills. What was the inspiration for this book, and would you say it's a memoir, or how would you describe it?
Well, I would never have written a book if I hadn't been encouraged by my writing partner, Andy Dembski. Andy was a newspaper man here in Napa. And when I first moved to Napa, I was invited to take part in the Napa Ballet, even though I'm not a dancer, but they knew me and they thought I would help with the advertising, I think. And so they gave me the part of mother, and Andy was father. And the ballet is all children. So we would have to wait while the children rehearsed every day. His two kids were in it. So he was waiting and I was waiting to go rehearse. So we would sit on the floor of the entry hall and I would tell him stories. I'd go, you know, one time I this and one time I that. And he said, you should write a book. I went, are you kidding? I barely got out of high school. I can't write a book. He said, no, tell me a story. So we met every 2 weeks at Starbucks. And every week I would tell him a different story. And he started writing them down. And that's my book. The printed pages the next week. And I would look at it and go, God, it's just what I said. I said, yeah, I know. You just told me a story. So my book is not, oh, you know, I did this and I did that, or she did this and she did that. It was one day I walked into a room and blah, blah, blah happened. Yeah. And it's just a story of little vignettes that happened in my life, you know?
So it's like you're taking the reader on your life's journey with you.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Which is a beautiful way to do it. A real girl's guide to becoming Miss Beadle and Mary X and me. And for those who haven't, I know there's several of our lovely viewers who've said they have read the book and they love it. It really is a page turner, and it really is very revealing. Were you hesitant or resistant at all to be so authentic and open and revealing, or did you know that you needed and wanted to share this story with everybody because it might even inspire somebody else?
Well, I had been through a lot and come out the other side. And I thought it wouldn't do anybody any good for me to write a book that said, oh, I was so good. And I did this and I was so special and I did that. I had to be truthful. And I had to say I made a lot of mistakes. And maybe somebody can learn from those. I have come out the other side as a whole loving person who has a wonderful family and a wonderful husband. And I just feel very fortunate. And it didn't seem fair to me to say, oh, I was so special. I worked with this person and I worked with that person. No, I said, no, you know what? I really screwed up. I made a lot of mistakes, but you know what? I've come out the other side because I worked at it. I worked at coming out the other side. And if you're having a problem of some kind, get help. You know, don't be afraid to get help. I just picked up the phone one day and I called the local hospital and I committed myself. That's how I did it. And then, you know, life moved on beautifully.
Very, you know, to be able to share it in such an eloquent way, the way you do, and taking everybody on a journey is not only succinct but very inspiring. What has the feedback been like? In response to the actual book, and has Laura Ingalls read the book herself?
I'm sure she has. Yes, I sent it to all my friends on Little House on the Prairie, just because I thought they'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff that I was doing was happening while I was working on Little House on the Prairie, so they get to know the real me.
I was going to say, we don't want to give too much away because we'd love for the ones who haven't gotten the book yet to get it. What would be like a couple of things that maybe you can sprinkle in that you touch upon in the book?
Well, maybe my road trip with Jim Morrison would be a highlight. It was quite spontaneous, and he was an old friend, and it happened just 6 months before he passed away, when he passed away in Paris. But he invited me. He wanted to get out of town. We were drinking buddies, basically.
Yeah.
And I used to basically take care of him when he got so completely drunk and spaced. I'd take him home and make sure he was safe. But he knew he could trust me. And so he called me up one day and he said, I got to get out of town. I've got this trial coming up in Florida. I'm being hounded. I'll just pick you up. I'll pick you up in half an hour. And we took off for 3 days. We drove up to Big Sur. He had never been. I took him to see friends in Big Sur, and they didn't even know who he was, I took him to San Simeon, the Hearst Castle, and we just stopped all along the way and shot pool and drank beer and had a really safe, good time. And that's the last I saw him. He left for Paris, and within 6 months he was gone. But I cherished the friendship, that he trusted me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Some other big names that that you've had interaction with that we know, John.
I like that interaction.
Yeah. I am a wordsmith. I know. I always look for different words. And you picked that up right away, didn't you, Charlotte?
Yes, I did.
John Voight and Richard Dreyfuss. Tell us about some of those.
Oh, Richard was a kick in the pants. He
I love that expression.
So yeah, he did. He made me laugh so much. We had a good time. Most of my adventures were not because I wanted to fall in love with somebody or something. I wanted to have a good time. I just wanted them to enjoy my company and, trust me. I didn't want anything from these people. If they were famous, that's fine. If they weren't, fine too. We just had some adventures together is the way I like to look at it. And I survived.
And that's the key. You survived. Yes. Bill Murray too. And
what a jerk. I'm sorry, but he was a real jerk.
I told you, she's a straight shooter. She tells it like it is. He just wasn't pleasant.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, huh? Not
the most. Not a good guy.
Not the most pleasant.
At least in my experience, I probably didn't show my best side, but yeah.
And of course, Joni Mitchell, a wonderful friendship with Joni Mitchell. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Joni. When I was married to my first husband, Tim Considine, he was a photographer. And I know there's a lot of things, a lot going on now with her
yes.
anniversary of Blue. Well, yes. Tim took that picture. Tim Considine took that picture for the cover of her Blue album. And so we spent a lot of time with Joni. And then Tim and I split up, and I started seeing her road manager, Elliot Roberts. And he lived practically next door to Joni. And Joni didn't drive at the time. She had just moved out from the East Coast. And so she was playing the Troubadour and different venues and all. So I just pick her up and drive her everywhere. In fact, she was the person that first cut my bangs.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she cut my bangs. I had long hair, parted in the middle, and she sat me down one day in her house and chopped off my bangs. So we looked alike. We both had this long, you've seen pictures of me with the long blonde hair. I looked just like Joni Mitchell.
Yes.
We used to spend a lot of time together.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you
In fact, I
still?
saw her 2 years ago after her, it wasn't a seizure, it was, she had an aneurysm, and she's still recovering from that. And I went to visit her with my friend Jeannie in her home in Bel Air. And, you know, she's doing very well. It's still very hard for her to walk.
Yeah.
And she talks very slowly. But we shared about 2 hours visiting, talking about old times. And, you know, we were the girls in the peasant dresses, you know. I had a clothing store called the Liquid Butterfly. And I made peasant dresses just like Joni used to wear, and cowboy shirts and vests. I've always been creative. I've always sewn, and I probably always will. That's what gives me pleasure, you know, to create, being creative.
I could see you living on a farm in the deep South. Pancakes for breakfast and
That's
bacon
right.
from the
Yeah.
farm, and
Yeah.
there's an old school
And
quality to you.
I worked
Yeah.
in a restaurant in Topanga called Everybody's Mother.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I love Topanga. I love
I
that.
was a hippie. I was a hippie.
Yeah, yeah,
I was a hippie.
yeah. Jane, who's watching in Sweden, said she had cancer 3 times,
Oh,
and she said one of them was really bad. But since then, she supports organizations fighting cancer, adults and children.
and children.
That's a
Mhm.
beautiful thing to do, right? And you're always giving back too, and I think that's a glorious
I
thing.
was because I had breast cancer, and so when I moved to Napa, I heard that there was this group called Everybody's Mother. No, oh, it's not Everybody's Mother. Bosom Buddies. It was
Bosom
called
buddies.
Bosom Buddies. And we used to meet once a week and talk about how we were getting along in our cancer recovery and sharing things, you know, with each other, you know, things that we'd learned, and just kind of support. It was a support group for cancer survivors.
Yeah, that's a
Better have
beautiful.
another glass of wine.
That's that's I love it. And then this came along, Twin Peaks. You know, it's really interesting. Not so much when I have a little of this, but it could be the English Irish thing. I'm English, Irish, Swedish, and French, and English Irish on dad's side, English, Swedish, French on mom's side. And if you do your DNA and all of that, who knows? We can all have other things, but those are the ones we know of. And a lot of people have said to me, I don't know if it's profile or what have you, but Kyle MacLachlan and I have a resemblance that's sort of uncanny a little bit. And I've seen, you know, all of his work. And
you didn't have your mustache or your beard, you would have that same, yeah.
The whole Kyle MacLachlan similarity.
Yeah.
A number of people pointed that out. What was that like working on Twin Peaks with Kyle and with everybody?
Well, it was great. Oh, yep, there's Betty Briggs. That was in the remake. That was in season 3.
Yeah.
Where Bobby is now a deputy sheriff. Yeah. Well, it was wonderful. When I first got a call from David Lynch, he said, you know, of course, we had done Eraserhead together, and he called me up and he said, "Shar, you want to go to work?" And I said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I do." He said, "Well, we're going to do this show up in Seattle, and we'll send you the information." And so they did. They flew me up to Seattle, and we did the pilot, and then we shot the rest of it in the San Fernando Valley on a sound stage. And I guess they did exteriors up in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me that I was going to play Betty Briggs, who was married to a Major Garland Briggs. And we had a son, Bobby, who was a really bad boy. And in fact, I just saw Dana Ashbrook 2 weeks ago in Pennsylvania. We were at a screening of Firewalk with Me, and Eraserhead too, at a drive-in there. And so it was great to see him and to see Andy. Not Andy. He played Deputy Andy. Where is he? Where's Deputy Andy? I don't see him in there. Oh, anyway.
This is a group shot of a lot of the folks, huh?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's me in the front row with brown hair.
Yeah.
When I became blonde again. And there's Catherine Coulson.
Good group, huh?
Oh yeah, it was a great group. And it was
Yeah.
bizarre because we didn't get to see any of the show being shot. We had to we only were there for the scenes we were in. We weren't allowed to watch anything else because he didn't want us to know what was going to go on in the plot. We had to
Yeah.
actually watch the show to find out what the storyline was.
Yeah.
In fact, when the episode came up where Agent Cooper got shot,
Yes.
we thought we had just been fired. We were all watching the show together at Kyle's house.
Yeah.
I mean, at Dana Ashbrook's house, and all of a sudden Agent Cooper is dead. We thought, what? Well, it turns out David Lynch shot that in case the network didn't pick up our series. That was going to be the end of the show.
That was going to be the end.
Yeah, he was ready to just cut it off right there.
Just in case. Wow. So it was an enjoyable time on that set on Twin Peaks, huh?
It was fun. It was really fun. Yeah. Especially when I wore the happy face button to Laura Palmer's funeral. That was my idea.
Yeah.
I picked it up off my dresser on my way to work that morning, and I just put it on my costume.
The idea of Betty Briggs.
Yeah. But it's not this. That's from the remake. On the shirt. I had a different suit on.
Yeah. You played that role to a T, like Miss
Betty
Beadle.
just wanted everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
You know? She just wanted everybody to feel good.
Be happy. And look at this shot. Special guest star, Charlotte.
Is that Gunsmoke or Bonanza?
I think that one, I think that's Gunsmoke.
I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great one. There's that long blonde hair you were talking about.
I know. Yeah, it was long blonde hair and I didn't have bangs yet. So this had to be.
And that's yours? That wasn't extensions? That was yours?
No, that was my hair. No,
that's your hair. Today they would just do extensions and all, but
before Joni Mitchell cut my hair, because after that I had bangs.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah. That was amazing, right? When you think about all these shows and all these opportunities and all these incredible people that you've had an opportunity to. Yeah. Huh? I mean, it's like a walk down memory lane when you see all of this.
It's amazing how you've come up with all these photographs.
It's I host the show, I produce the show, do the whole thing. Marty in Nashville has a question for you. He says, "Good day, Charlotte. Welcome to Lovity Hall. I saw you on Highway to Heaven. What a wonderful show. What was the cast like when you were on Highway to Heaven?"
It was Michael Landon and Victor French, and it was a two-parter. And I was a counselor at a camp for children, autistic children, I believe. And you know, any show that Michael Landon is doing is great. He had the same crew that was on Little House on the Prairie. I knew everybody on there. They had all worked together on Bonanza before Little House. So, I mean, everybody just dropped everything. Michael Landon calls and you go to work.
Yeah.
It's always a good set.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he also asked something about Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, on Young and the Restless, I played a psychic who I think is hit by a car and put in a coma.
There it is. My mom is a huge fan and an addict for the show, The Young and the Restless. Do tell, what was that like?
Well, I had never done a soap opera before, and I have to tell you, I'm not very good at it. I had a hard time remembering my lines, so they had these cue cards up under the camera all the time, and I was trying not to look at them because they shoot so fast. They shoot a whole episode a day, one episode every day. I'm used to doing 7 days for one episode or something.
Yeah.
And, so it ended up, my character was in the hospital in a coma. And do you remember Stephen Ford, Gerald Ford's son?
Oh, yes, that's right.
On Young and the Restless. I was playing this character and all I had to do was blink. They would ask me a question, blink once for yes and twice for no. But he ended up calling me Blinky. Hey, Blinky, how you doing today?
Blinky. That is funny. But you had a good time. It was a good experience, right?
It was very good. Every experience is good. I find something, you know, The Office. I did an episode of The Office.
Oh, Stephen Carell and that group. Yeah.
You know, I only had one scene in it, but I had such a good time, you know.
I think in this shot here, is it Jen Berry? She says she thinks it might have been Bonanza because maybe there's something in the background. She goes, that's got to be Bonanza. Little Joe had the green jacket. So there must be a green jacket hanging up in the back,
That
maybe.
could be, but I don't remember if he had his jacket off. I don't think
Yeah, see, they can see the hats in the back. Laura Riley, the picture you showed Bonanza because you could see Hoss and Little Joe's
well,
hats.
I only did one scene with Michael Landon, and it wasn't a dialogue scene. I don't even remember working with him in Bonanza, to tell you the truth. It was on location, and I did 3 different Bonanzas. So
yeah,
it was, my character was with Candy, the ranch hand, you know, after the oldest son moved away.
yes.
And they brought in the youngest ranch hand, Candy, and my scene was with him.
What was the writing process like for the book? And again, congratulations on the book. It's been very, I know, well received, and everybody's talking. Those that have read about it already, they've been posting here on our show, and we welcome everybody to the Jim Masters Show Live. If you're new watching, thank you. If you're one of our regular lovely viewers, thank you as well. What was it like, the writing process? Was it harder to get started and putting those first thoughts down on paper, or was it harder to know when to put the period on the end of the last sentence and know when to walk away, be done with it, and say, okay, it's done, I'm good?
Okay, well, Andy Dembski did most of the writing, but it was based on my storytelling. So we would meet, and we would spend an hour, and I would tell him a story or 2 or 3, and he would just madly take notes. And then the next time we met, he would have, excuse me, the next time we met, he would hand over all the written typed up sheets and for my approval. And it was just like I told the story. So when you read the book, picture me saying it. In fact, I have it on audio. I recorded the whole book on audio.
Oh, so you did it. You did
I did my own audiobook. Yeah.
An audiobook version. Oh, yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And
so
that's available too?
Right.
That's also available, the audiobook version?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Audible.com, I believe, is carrying it.
Audible, yeah. And this book is, I'm sure, at Barnes & Noble and Amazon and all the usual places. Yeah. Was it also, sometimes, you know, when you write a book, when I chat with an author, they always say that it was very therapeutic. It was cathartic for them as they're sharing their stories and their life with the eventual reader. Was it cathartic and very therapeutic writing the book for you, Charlotte?
Yeah. There were so many things that I hadn't thought about in so many years. I hadn't even, you know, gone back there. But when Andy said, well, what about when you were on the farm? What were your parents like? And then I would tell a story about my mom, or I would tell a story about the first time I crashed a car.
Yeah.
I was 3 years old when I crashed my first car.
You were 3 years old, you said?
Yeah.
3.
My mother said, I walked out the back door of the farmhouse and said, I go buy shoes. And the next thing they know, the car had crashed in the orchard next door. I had somehow gotten into the Mercury, sat on the gas pedal, and it shot backwards out of the garage and ended up in a tree.
Oh my God.
So I crashed my father went to the insurance man and he said, John Sheehy said, well, so Will, who was driving the car? And he said, Char. He said, yeah. Right.
Yeah, didn't believe it.
Driving the car. Really, who was driving the car? Charlotte. I was just terrible.
You were adventurous, right? Curious.
I was. I wanted to go buy shoes.
You wanted to buy shoes.
Now I don't even wear shoes, honestly.
How's Shayna next to you?
Shayna, where'd you go?
Yeah, she's got a beautiful Maltese, Shayna, everybody. There's the chair. Yeah, I know you guys like to see the chair of the guest.
Yeah, I think she's taking a nap with her daddy.
That's
I think she's taking a nap.
She's recovering from
throwing up on the floor.
Yes.
No, she's taking a nap.
Are you, in addition, of course, to that fabulous book, are you working on any projects currently? Anything's coming up? And what, in addition to that, how have you been during this crazy time we've all been experiencing? I keep saying to everybody that I think the only three people that could have scripted the year plus that we've experienced are Steven Spielberg, Stephen King, or Rod Serling. But how have you been, and how have you gotten through it? How have you stayed creative, connected, collaborative, and sane? And whenever I say sane, everybody goes, Jim, I'm still working on the sane part. I'll get back to you on that.
I know. Well, I'm lucky that I have a have a wonderful family, and every Sunday at 4:00 we would do a Zoom. So the whole family would get together. So I got to see everybody. I wasn't so isolated. And then I have a wonderful husband who's very creative, and we cook. I sew every day. I thank God I have a kind of an online business where I can sell things, you know.
Nice. Yeah.
And I've done a couple of other things too. I did a movie called Living on a Prairie that you might want to look up.
Yes.
That's Pamela Bob, who is a huge Little House fan. She wrote a movie, I think it's a 6-part series about a woman who is so obsessed with Little House on the Prairie that she can't let it go. And so she hired a couple of actors from Little House on the Prairie to play parts in this movie. I play a lesbian bartender in a gay bar, and Allison plays a psychiatrist. And so we had a lot of fun. We went back to New York and did a couple of scenes for her movie. So that's coming out soon. Living on a Prairie.
Living on a Prairie.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep an eye on that. There's something else that you did, Human Highway. With
Neil Young. Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, it was a kick in the pants. It was so much fun. Russ Tamblyn and Dean Stockwell and Devo. And I played a waitress named Charlotte, funny enough, who wants to be a singer. Oh, my landlord is coming to the door. Hold on.
Yeah, that's okay. We always have wonderful moments like this on our show. Oh, I think we just saw the dog.
There's Shayna.
Shayna.
Would you?
Welcome, landlord.
Shayna, come.
There's Shayna.
My friend Patty. Patty came to visit and have a glass of wine. This is Patty.
Hi, Patty. You're on the Jim Masters Show live. How are you?
I'm good. Shayna. Oh, she wants to be with
She wants to be with me? Okay.
Yeah, she wants to be with Patty.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That was terrific. That's life, right? That's what's great about live moments.
I know.
You couldn't.
I know. We just have an open door policy, and you know.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You were mentioning Human Highway, a nuclear comedy.
Yeah, it's nuclear. There's this little town, and they're on the cusp. You can see the nuclear plant in the hills in the back of them, spewing this pink clouds, and they're just going along like nothing is happening and singing songs and dancing, and until one day.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I had done a previous scene with Neil Young about 2 years before he shot this movie up at his ranch, where he had me with about 5 children, and he was going on the road. That was the real Neil Young, was going on the road, leaving the wife and kids behind. And he incorporated that into the movie. But in the movie, in the fantasy movie, I'm the waitress, Charlotte, at the diner that he's got a big crush on. And we sing a duet. I sing Moonglow, and he whistles. Must have been Moonglow, way up in the blue. Oh God, my voice is terrible.
No, that was beautiful. Have you done singing? Have you sung?
No, God,
That was
no.
beautiful. That was really nice.
No, I'm terrible.
Oh, you're too hard on yourself. That was beautiful.
I
Really,
can't
really
sing or
was.
I can't dance.
Never say never, right? But that sounded like a really cool project. Human Highway
It was
to
a lot of fun. It was 4 weeks on a sound stage, and it was really fun. I mean, Neil was an old friend.
Yeah.
He and his wife at the time, Susan, were good friends, and so that was all part of the Topanga Canyon, group.
Whole group.
I was a friend he could trust. I had dated his road manager for many years, Elliot, who's recently passed away, unfortunately. But I made a lot of old long-term friends there.
Which is absolutely beautiful. And that's what it's about, because, a lot of times that doesn't always happen. And you have an opportunity to keep these relationships nurtured too, the ones where, you stay connected. When you look back at your body of work, now, again, the book itself is very open. You talk about everything, right? You just open up about your life and the experiences, and that not everything that we see in the movies and that we see on television always matches real life, because everybody is a real person and we deal with different things and struggle with different things. But you, like you said a couple of times during the conversation here on the show, have come through to the other side. I don't want to give the book totally away, but what are a couple of things that helped you get to the other side? What were the things and the people and the inspiration that you were hanging on to that got you to say, wait a minute, I'm not done. I have so much more to give. I have these wonderful people in my life. I don't want to throw that away, these opportunities. How did that happen for you?
I think, gosh, I had a friend who said, Charlotte, you're ruining your life. You're ruining your life. You have to get a grip on it.
Yeah.
And it was a wake-up call. And I didn't want to hear it for a long time. I didn't want to hear it at all. Let me go live my life. Everybody does it. Everybody smokes grass. Everybody does cocaine. Everybody drinks. But I had to come to reality that I was going to die if I didn't change. And that's what made that final phone call to my doctor and said, I'm in bad shape. I need help. And
Thank God you did that. Thank God you did that.
Yeah. And my friend Jack Nance, who I was living with at the time, he played Henry in Eraserhead and was in Twin Peaks as well. He was a dear friend, and he nearly died. In fact, he did pass away from over, use and all that. We've lost so many friends. I just didn't want to be a statistic, I've got too much to give.
It's a beautiful thing. And, you're an inspiration, and this book is as well. You're an inspiration for others who, might have only seen the dramatic side of you, the talented Miss Beadle and all these other things you've had an opportunity to be in, and think that just because it's Hollywood and because it's television and film and all and stage, that it's a charmed situation. But I'm sure many people, colleagues and friends, who some didn't make it to the other side, and some are struggling even to this day. Yeah.
I had a business manager who was addicted to cocaine, and he went through all my money. I woke up one day and my house payment hadn't been made. I was evicted. I was on the street, literally. I had to stay with friends until finally my friend, it was an old teacher of mine from the Pasadena Playhouse, who said, you know what, you need help. And he gave me a place to live while I recovered. And that was the start of my recovery.
How ironic that for Miss Beadle, it was a teacher that was the source of inspiration for you in that way, huh? That recognized.
And Kenneth Rose. I just saw him about a year ago. He came to visit Napa, and we did a big reunion.
What are some of those blessings and joys in your life today? You've mentioned several of them during the conversation that keep you going, keep you rising and shining, saying, hey, I'm here. Keep the party going, and I want to create, and I want to live life to the fullest as you have been. So happy for you, Charlotte.
I've got a good relationship, my husband and I have a good life. We live in a wonderful place. We have good friends, as you see. My friend
Yeah,
Patty.
just stop by. I feel like I should be stopping by with wine and cheese and crackers.
Yeah, that's what they're doing in the kitchen now. They're pouring the wine.
Oh, nice.
No, I still have a lot of good friends. Allison is one of my best friends.
Allison
She stays in
Holmgren,
touch
yeah.
with me. I like to know. I'm going to see her in a couple of weeks too.
Tell her I said
need to-
hello. Yeah.
I will. I heard she did the show, and she was probably a real kick in the pants.
Oh, she.
She's
I think, because you've mentioned that several times, if you do another book, I think that's the title. My life.
kick in the pants.
What a kick in the pants it's been.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
She's a hoot, isn't she?
Yeah.
She weaves in and out of Nellie a little bit. She's just really.
She's so smart.
Yes, quick-witted.
So smart. She taught herself French. She speaks fluent French.
Oh, she does.
She does her whole stand-up act in France, in French. Yeah, she's amazing. She's getting ready to leave for France again. I saw on her itinerary.
Marty says, my wife Babette and I think you're adorable. Juanita, now South Africa, says you're such an inspiration, Charlotte.
Thank you, Juanita.
And Merlin in Ontario, Canada says, tell her you have become a lovety. You're one of our loveties.
I can say that. Thank you.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Jim, thank you so much.
This has been
letting me spout.
You are a true delight. You are not only a television and film, veteran and a very talented lady, but you are authentic. You're real. You're passionate. You obviously have an empathetic way about you. You love people. You love to create, and you love to inspire, Charlotte. And I think that is a beautiful thing. You're continuing to inspire, and I love the fact that you're doing, the Beetle bags and everything else, and it helps with cancer research and just so many beautiful things that you're doing. And one person that was with us tonight that we mentioned, Comedy, who just wanted to let you know that he thoroughly enjoyed himself. Mr. George Burns was with us this evening. That always puts a smile on everyone.
Pleasure, but how do you do, Mr. Burns?
He says you look like $1 million. He's got a cigar and the whole bit. Whenever I show this out of the blue, it always puts smiles on people's faces.
Yeah, one of my father's favorite, my mother and father's favorite shows. Oh yeah, they always watch, George and Gracie.
The best. Jen Barry, who said she's read your book. She loves your Beetle bags. Thank you, Charlotte, for spending time with us. Love you. She's in Pennsylvania. Maureen says, thank God you got past those bumps in the road and you're living life to the fullest. You're an amazing lady. Maureen works in the medical industry and healthcare in Arizona.
God bless you. God bless you for that.
First responder and the whole bit during COVID. Juanita in South Africa says, this was a wonderful conversation. Thank you, Charlotte, for sharing your time and stories with us. Ann Wozniak in Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you, Charlotte, for such a lovely evening and sharing your journey with us. Mary Bishop in Florida. It was great meeting you, Charlotte. Thanks for sharing your life. And Jane in Sweden, where it's very late. You are so positive, Charlotte, as well. You really are. And you've got a great sense of humor. And I hope, at some point, if I'm on a TV shoot out in LA or up to San Francisco, what have you, would love to stop by and say hello. You really are. You're really incredible. And one more in here from Christine Clifton in North Carolina. Thanks, Charlotte, for the inspirational episode. Such fun and fascinating stories. You had a wonderful career. You're involved with beautiful work. A great levity. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had and that you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you, Charlotte.
I did. I learned a lot about myself in doing it.
Is that not amazing how it happens? Yeah. Kathy Short says, amazing career, Charlotte. Thanks for sharing it with us. And Jen says, can we have Charlotte back? Love her. Anytime.
Sure.
All right. You take care. You have guests there, so enjoy.
Jim, thank you so much. This was really fun. I hope I didn't shock anybody with stories, but I figured you got to tell the truth. What the heck? I'm not trying to impress anybody.
No, not at all. And it was really, really amazing. And you were very open and warm and funny, and a blessing to have. And let's stay in touch, Charlotte. Okay.
Okay. I know where to get you.
High five. That's right. I know where you are. You take
All right,
care,
Seth.
be well, and keep being you. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Charlotte Stewart here on the Jim Masters Show Live, our illustrious guest from Little House on the Prairie, Twin Peaks, Tremors, Highway to Heaven, Matlock, Macmillan and Wife, you name it. She's done it. Bonanza, Gunsmoke, and even more than that, she's an authentic person. She's warm. And you know what? She's lived life to the fullest from all different sides. And what an inspiring story, I'm sure, for those of you who know her as Miss Beadle on Little House on the Prairie, of course. There she is there. And, of course, her role on Twin Peaks and everything else that she's done. I mean, Loretta Young Show. This was Macmillan. It's really amazing how she's so open and Eraserhead, we talked about that, known for that as well. Even Damaged Goods, one of the very first things that she had an opportunity to be a part of. All of this is Tremors. 8 is Enough, the great series with Dick Van Patten, of course. She mentioned her wonderful friendship. There's Alison Arngrim, who was a guest on our show. She played Nellie Olson on Little House on the Prairie. Go back in the archives on Jim Masters Show Live. You can see the episode with Alison. We had a blast. She was very funny. Bachelor Father with John Forsythe. She was on that as well. My Three Sons with the young Beau Bridges. Matlock. These are just a few, there's so many experiences that she's had. But she's also very open in her book. There it is. You can find it again at Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all the other great places. She's had an illustrious career. She is a Hollywood legend and Hollywood veteran. But, it's also warm and refreshing that she has no ego about her. She's a straight shooter. She's open. She's telling her life story as it is. She doesn't sweeten it up. She doesn't sugarcoat it. Because it also, she talks about a lot of different things: divorce, death in the family, alcoholism, all the different things that a lot of people deal with in their lives. And very inspirational. You're welcome, Jen. And Janet says, what a wonderful and very inspirational lady. Yes, she absolutely is. Juanita says, the truth is usually more impressive anyway. I agree. Sherry Larson says, thank you both for a wonderful evening. My pleasure. And Charlotte thanks you as well. Jane in Sweden says, thanks, Jim, for another great show. Absolutely. And again, if you want to know more about the Beetle bags, just send us an email to our show's email address. I'll get that to Charlotte. The email address is jimmasterstv@gmail.com, jimmasterstv@gmail.com. And then I will get those, and let her know, what you would like on the bags. And Charlotte will take care of that. I'll get the information and make the connection. Maureen says, wow, I had no idea about the demons Charlotte fought. How brave she is to share the journey she went through. I agree. And Maureen, thanks for being with us as well. And Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio. Good night, Jim. Wonderful conversation tonight as well. There you see the book on the left. So you can pick that up, at a bookstore or online as well. And Marty says, my wife, Babette, think you're adorable. Yes, Charlotte absolutely is. And I agree, Jane. She sings beautiful too. You just don't look 80. I know she mentioned she was 80. She does not look it. It's just a number. It's just a number. There's people that are 25 that act like they're 80. So it's just a number. Another wonderful guest. Thanks, Jim. Good night, everyone. Yes, it's so wonderful to have Hollywood legend Charlotte Stewart here. She's still acting, still performing. You can see all these different epic productions, The Little House on the Prairie and Bonanza and Twin Peaks as well. And it's kind of cool. Kyle MacLachlan, I know a lot of people said that he and I look very similar, especially during the years when he was on the series Twin Peaks. Must have been that English-Irish thing. Little House on the Prairie as well. And just really epic stuff. Amazing person and a great conversation. And just a real blessing to have her here. Here's another shot from Twin Peaks. Yeah, there she is with Michael Landon. She talked about Michael Landon, who created Little House on the Prairie and also Highway to Heaven. And there she is with Kevin Bacon as well. There she is with Elvis Presley, in case you didn't see this earlier. Love this shot too. There is, there's Miss Beadle on the right from Little House on the Prairie, which of course is Charlotte. And there, it looks like the way they did it, it looks like Miss Beadle is reading Charlotte's book, and Charlotte is reading the book that Laura Ingalls, played by Melissa Gilbert, was reading in that shot we showed earlier, which is that shot. See the book in Laura Ingalls' hand, played by actress Melissa Gilbert. So there you see that in Melissa's hand, and Miss Beadle is watching her. And then in this shot, Charlotte has the book that Laura had in her hand, and Miss Beadle has Charlotte's book. It's cool the way they did that, huh? She's a wonderful person, Charlotte Stewart. And again, we are so honored to have her on the show. There she is again as Miss Beadle. It's like going back in time, isn't it? With all these wonderful people that we have stopping by the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series, where we, have a good time. It's conversational. It's inviting. We take you behind the scenes, but also, we have a variety of guests. They're not just from theater or music or Broadway or Hollywood or television or film or food or sports or comedy, or they're from all aspects of life. And it's really, really cool. Thanks to everybody who has been supporting the show, and those who do super chat. We appreciate that. Again, we would love it if you subscribe to the channel you're watching right now, which is our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Click the notification bell so you don't miss any of the amazing episodes. Over 400 to binge watch. Last night we had Marion Ross from Happy Days On, and her amazingly talented son, Jim Meskman. And he's a brilliant voice impressionist and actor, singer. They were both on together live from the Happy Days farm in Woodland Hills, California. The night before that, we had Judy Norton on from the Waltons. Allison Arngrim's been on from Little House on the Prairie. Stanley Livingston's been on from My Three Sons. Kathy Garver from Family Affair, and so many others, and more to come. And not, again, just people from television or child stars. Rodney Allen Rippey was on, remember him? And so many others. We have a good time on the show. And stay tuned. Coming up this week, we're going to do a surprise for those of you that are watching live. Pop-up show. We got a pop-up show coming up at the end of this week. So stay tuned for that. That's where we do a lot of live host and viewer chat. And we enjoy doing that with all of you. You guys are the best. We have the best audience around the world here on the Jim Masters Show live, and we love you all. Want to let you know we've got an amazing guest tomorrow, a musical guest. My great friend Brett Pruneau is going to be with us. Thank you very much, Christine, for your kind comments. Take a look at a couple more of those. But Brett is joining us tomorrow live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. He's an amazing recording artist and performer. He's about to launch on a tour on the high seas, on the cruise lines as well. We have a lot of similar mutual friends in the industry too. So he is here tomorrow. That's Thursday. And then we have an amazing guest as well. This is Paul Zolo. He's all excited. He is a brilliant award-winning musician, guitarist, songwriter. He's also a music journalist as well for Songwriter Magazine. He's going to be with us. He's going to perform live coming up on Friday. I want to let you know, too, that on Sunday, live from Ireland, the one and only Irish soprano and actress, originally with Celtic Woman, Alex Sharp, is going to be with us live from Ireland, and she's all excited. She's a dear friend, and we've known each other for a long time. Just a few of the amazing guests that are coming up. That show on this Sunday is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. in Ireland, 7 p.m. GMT. So Ireland, Scotland, England. The amazing Alex Sharp is going to be with us for the entirety of that broadcast. Want to let you know, too, we are very excited that wonderful actor, that is. This is Ethan Slater. and Ethan Slater starred in SpongeBob SquarePants. That's right, SpongeBob SquarePants. And there he is. He's right there front and center with the yellow shirt and the tie and the red hair in the middle of the screen there. He is going to be joining us on Sunday, the 11th of July, which really is just a couple weeks from now. Again, I'm talking pretty much to the audience that's watching us live. Anybody that's watching this 6 months from now, that's past tense, and you can find the episode by then on our YouTube channel. Just scroll and look for it. The incredible Ethan Slater, who starred in SpongeBob SquarePants, there he is front and center. He's joining us on the 11th of July, and that's going to be terrific. And we have many, many more guests. We're already halfway booked in August. Guests throughout June, July, August. We're going to be taking some vacation time too to see family down south. So we're going to be taking you on the road too. We're also going to be seeing our friend John Davidson too in a couple of weeks. We're going to go up to New Hampshire and visit him at his new venue, Club Sandwich. You may remember the one and only John Davidson was on our show as a special guest here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Check that episode out too, and all the episodes. They're all on our YouTube channel for the binge watching. And also, don't forget to click thumbs up on the YouTube channel for this episode. If you enjoyed this episode with our very special guest, Charlotte Stewart, wonderful Hollywood veteran actress, click the thumbs up sign that you see on the YouTube channel. Give it a like, and also drop a comment on the bottom of the channel. We love that. That really helps our show big time. And really, really important, tell everybody you know about our show. Tell them about our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and invite them to check out our amazing and very special series we do called the Jim Masters Show Live. If you missed this episode, 24/7, 365, you can see them all on our YouTube channel. Sherry Larson says, great lineup. Good night, everyone. That's a great picture of you too. Your profile photo there, Sherry, on the YouTube channel. I just like the smile and the pose. Really, really nice shot you got there. And thanks for those great comments. Some more. Our wonderful Marty Thompson. If you did not see the epic episode we had with Marty, Marty was amazing. We had a lot of music. His wonderful wife, Babette, was with us, and he opened up about his life and his health. And it's very inspiring. It was just a couple of nights back. Marty Thompson, check that episode out. Amazing singer, entertainer extraordinaire. He's worked with them all. Thank you for a wonderful experience by being on your show. It allowed us to talk about my journey and creating awareness. Marty's not done. MND. And there's a whole story behind that. Yes, Joan, Marty, you and your beautiful wife are a blessing. I agree 100%. Janet on Long Island, New York. Good night, Jim. Thanks for such a lovely evening. My pleasure, Janet. Hope to see you soon. We are here daily. If not, you can watch us on our YouTube channel in the archives. Good night, all. Have a great night to you, Mary, in Florida. Check a couple more. We're very interactive on our show here. And again, thanks for those of you that did the super chat. That really helps our show big time with all of the hours and hours we put in producing these shows. It's becoming like a 24-hour thing. Even though I'm on the air in television and radio during the day, gets busy. Christine Clifton says, Jim, thanks for a great show. Hope you enjoyed your time in New York City with some of our friends. Christine, we were away. It was Father's Day weekend. However, hopefully we'll catch you the next time you come up north to the Northeast. Thanks for a great show with Charlotte. Till next time, good night, Jim and all. Great show tonight with Brett Pruneau. It's going to be terrific. He's an amazing singer and recording artist tomorrow night. Good night, Jim and everyone. Love and hugs to all. You as well. And in Jacksonville, Florida. And Jen Barry says, Jim, you should have Wendy, who played Baby Grace, and Rachel, who played Carrie on Little House. Both so nice. That's a great idea. I love it. Jane in Sweden says, good night, all lovely friends. And to you, my favorite host, Jim. See you all tomorrow. Thank you very much, Jane. I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Kurt Stacy's in the house. Thank you, Kurt. Here again, he says, you have some of the most wonderful and interesting guests. Thank you for sharing, Jim. Hey, Kurt, the pleasure is all mine. I love doing this and connecting us all. And we learn something new. We have some good times and some fun along the way. Hope you'll spread the word about our show, Kurt. It's good to have you here. Another wonderful guest. Thanks, Jim. Good night, everyone. Juanita in South Africa. You as well. Get some sleep. And I think your daughter Gabrielle is her birthday too, right? I think. Happy birthday to her as well. I think Linda Odell, I don't know if she's with us, but it was her birthday recently as well. We wish her happy birthday. Kathy Short says, good night, Jim. Wonderful conversation tonight. Thank you, Kathy, in Cleveland. Obviously, there's no Cleveland Indians game tonight. So you're here with us, and we love it. And SpongeBob. Yes, Ethan Slater starred in SpongeBob. And really cool stuff. You guys are the best. And let's see, I think there's one more from you, Jen, here, right? Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. Absorbent and yellow. Porous is he. SpongeBob SquarePants. If nautical nonsense be something you wish SpongeBob SquarePants. Yes, that's so apropos, considering, again, Ethan Slater, who starred in SpongeBob SquarePants, is going to be with us coming up soon on July 11th on the Jim Masters Show live. So it was your husband's birthday. That's right. Gabriella is a September baby, just like the host, Jim. So happy birthday to your husband. Many, many years of continued happiness and good health along the way. Yes, our special guest was the wonderful Charlotte Stewart. And again, she was in beautiful Napa. She loves where she is. And that's a beautiful part of the world there in Northern California, Napa. All right, Little House in the Hollywood Hills is the name of the book. Check that out once again. And we love having you here, gang. We toast all of you. Thanks for being with us. We're going to wrap up for the evening. September Babies Unite. Yes. Libra with Virgo rising. I think we talked about that. If you guys didn't see the episode, the birthday episode we did last September when it was my birthday, and we had the multi-talented voices of classic soul, legends from Motown and soul on our show. They performed. Oh, it was hilarious too. It was an epic conversation. They've been in some of the most incredible legendary Motown groups, and then they formed Voices of Classic Soul. They were on our show, and we had a blast with them, and it was very funny as well. Marty says, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Absolutely. I love when everybody tunes in, and spread the word, spread the word, spread the word about our show. We've had a lot of new people subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you've subscribed already, well, we toast you. That means the world to us. That means you're enjoying all this work and all the episodes of our series. I know on YouTube, people sometimes just post videos and it's just a video. We're actually doing a live series almost daily, if not daily, here on our show. And we toast you if you've subscribed. And if you are, that's a little spiked cider. It's delicious. That's why I'm only sipping it right now. It's very good in that fancy martini glass. If you've subscribed already, gang, thanks so much. That means the world to us. You're the best. And we'll keep working hard to deliver on the promise of doing all we can to have a good time, whether we do a host levity show or holiday shows or on location or special guests that join us. If you're a tennis fan, go back and look at the episode where Patrick McEnroe was on, tennis star and also ESPN correspondent. And even John McEnroe, his brother, made an appearance on that episode. That was cool. You can scroll back and see that episode as well. You guys are the best. All right. Yes, we hit a landmark in subscriptions recently, and I thank every single person who is subscribed to the Jim Masters TV channel. You're all duly noted. We see all of you there, and boy, do we thank you very much. It's a lot of, I tell you, it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work doing the show and then building the channel, and we thank you very much from the bottom of my heart and everybody. You guys really are the best, and keep sharing and keep spreading the word, and we'll keep doing what we do on our end here. And yes, that birthday episode of the Jim Master Show Live was a hoot. Even I was looking at some of the very first episodes, how the show has really come a long way from the very beginning, even from a technical standpoint and a visual standpoint with upgrades. And we've done a lot of upgrades. We have more upgrades we're doing. And Cool stuff. All right, gang, you're the best. Live and direct from Lovety Hall, your host, Jim Masters here. We thank you for all of the love and support. Another great show. If you missed anything, check back on our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV and enjoy watching in the archives. We'll be here tomorrow as well, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. As we always say, don't forget to smile. These are just a few things we during the pandemic, we wanted to put smiles on people's faces. We all couldn't use it, that's for sure. So we've been doing this ever since. Don't forget to share the Lovety, a word we just happened to create here on the show. Find your Zen place. We try to say this at the end of every episode if you're having a bad day. Find your Zen place. Mine is with family and friends, of course, and I can't wait. We're going to be seeing them in the summertime, some that we haven't had a chance to see during the pandemic, and we're going to have a beautiful time. I would say music. I love tennis and music. I love baseball. I played baseball in school. I love tennis with friends. I'm a cyclist. I'm a swimmer. You got to drag me out of the ocean, swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing, floating in it, being near the rhythm and tide of the ocean. I love it. And my work in television, radio, stage, and film over the years, something else that's a real Zen place for me. I'm in the zone when I'm doing that work. And also when I'm doing this show here for all of you. And again, there it is. You see it in the upper corner there on the right-hand side. It says Jim Masters TV. Subscribe. There you go. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love it. Gang, we're going to wrap up. We always have the longest goodbyes, don't we? We all hate to say goodbye, so we just say see you later. Congratulations. Thank you, Marty. The milestone that we recently hit on YouTube. Couldn't have done it without all of you wonderful viewers, or as we call Loveties, and newfound friends as well. And thank you very much, Jane, as well. I love it. You guys are the best. Again, don't forget to drop a like on this video, on this episode, on the YouTube channel directly, and a comment. Thanks to those of you who've been commenting on the YouTube channel underneath the episodes, letting us know how much you're enjoying the episodes in the series. And yeah, that was you were doing the SpongeBob theme song. Well, here comes another theme song for you, Jen. It's a theme song to the Jim Masters Show Live, which I know you love there in Pennsylvania. And Jane, you love it there in Sweden. So here it comes. Get ready to do your dances. All right. We love you all. You take care. Be well. Thanks for being with us on this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. Truly, it's always a blast when we're together. And we'll see you again tomorrow night. And as I say to everybody, go stretch those legs now. All right, gang. Take care, be well, and thanks for being with us on this episode, another killer episode of JMS Live. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. A lot of hard work, but been doing it for a long time. And thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. And we've exceeded that too. And let's just keep growing together. Help us grow. Keep telling everybody about the channel. The more, the merrier. I invite and welcome everybody. It doesn't matter your zip code, income, height, weight, eye color, political views, religious views. None of it matters here on our show. You're all welcome to join us for our party that we call the Jim Masters Show Live. Couch Wiggles coming up right now for Jen, because she loves our theme song to our show, as does Jane in Sweden. Love you all. Take care. You be well. We'll see you next time on the Jim Masters Show Live. Good night.